Hi beautiful friends, welcome to today's video. We're going to be talking about such a fun conversation around ascending as a family unit. So many of us are navigating our awakening while also navigating really complex family dynamics. And as mothers, we are always evolving and always learning because our children are always growing. They are always becoming new. They're developing so quickly, right? And in a way, so are we right now, if we choose to, right? If we choose to really embrace life as our master teacher and ascend, this is, and join into that like collective idea of unity and love. I want to talk about that in the context of being in a family and a marriage and being a mother. Where shall we start? What I want to start with is to remind you that if you have found yourself where you are in a family, you are going to have more opportunity to step into your authenticity and who you really are and what your voice really sounds like, because you have set yourself up with many mirrors to reflect to you if you're doing that or not, and challenging you to do that in a bigger way. For those who live alone and who are, navigating the journey in that way, it's just different. Things are, there's not a better or worse here, but it's different. And I want to talk about how it's different, So, I think that there are more challenges are the opportunities for us in a family unit, and it takes a lot of courage and a lot of maturity to see it that way all the time, to see it that way most of the time. And I want to encourage you, if you are on this path of awakening, you're going to have a very unique story of what that looks like for you. Maybe your family is super on board with it and you guys are really finding your way. You might also feel really lonely. You might feel like you aren't being seen. There's a lot of kind of peaks and valleys that I think as women we go through in our families, of really feeling seen and really feeling like the family understands who we are. And then we go through moments of experiencing the complete opposite of that. Very isolated, very detached from the rest of the family unit, and then everywhere in between. So I want to speak to that because there are supposed to be those cycles. Now, you can choose how quickly you kind of make it through a cycle like that. It could be a matter of hours where you kind of like spiral into a place of feeling very separate, and then you can kind of work your way right back out to that, hawk vision of like what life is all about and what life is really trying to teach you right now. So as you navigate your spiritual journey in a family unit, it's really important that you have something that allows you this, that you create. The space will not just be allowed to you if you live with other people, and you need to create the space for yourself, right? And tap into that priestess archetype. What does she do? She creates space. She creates space for herself and for others to be at that place where we can accept life as our teacher and embrace that. So you create the space for yourself. you then become very acquainted with what it is that you know to be your truth. And the important part about this, it's two things, right? One, you have to know that for yourself. You cannot look to anyone else that you live with or that's in your family to show you what that truth is for you. They are there to support you finding that, whether you enjoy how that unfolds or not is sort of irrelevant to this conversation, frankly. At least in my experience, it's not about like, do we take a lot of pleasure in that process? It's about how willing are we to just to be in that experience of the family dynamic. How willing are we to just be in it? Just be in it. Just witness it. Just witness what's going on. Witness the themes. Witness witness how people are trying to control or not control. Witness how, people are expressing love or resisting love and closing down to love. Just, there's so much in just the witnessing, and then there's so much in then taking that, what you're seeing in the mirror of life, the great teacher, and then reflecting on it with compassion and love and invoking ascended masters or Christ conscious, the guides that are aligned with that, with unity, to then help guide you into the right questions to ask yourself about what do you know to be true? Because what you're going to hear in that is very different than what I'm going to hear in that. And that's how it's supposed to be. So when each of us become very quiet and very committed to just us and can simultaneously live in a family dynamic, we can accelerate very quickly because we are open to the teacher of life, right? And we are open to our voice dropping in and being able to hear our own thoughts louder than the bombardment of programming and, ways that other people think that you should be thinking about things, including your family. Bless their hearts. Bless them. But including your family, right? Especially our family. This is a time of tuning, of the commitment of tuning in to your truth and what Spirit is showing you through what you're seeing around you, and being able to digest it, being able to sit with it and digest it. And how do you do that? You breathe. You breathe. Breathe it in, breathe it in, breathe it in, breathe it out, breathe it out, breathe it out. Okay? The breath is what's going to move you along it's going to be the compass, right? That points you to the thoughts and to the higher knowledge that's guiding you. All of the higher knowledge that I am receiving is very different than the higher knowledge that you are receiving. There is no better or worse. Okay? Like, that is from one sister to another. You need to know that. Can we look at these other mirrors, right, who are showing us different perspectives and reminders? Absolutely. Every day. Every day, tapping in with those sisters and those friends. For me, it's women in my life who are the air under my wings. Rise up. They are like all about the rising up of my spirit, right? And when we can do that, you know, in our families, when we can really lift one another up and be that air and also be the wings, right? That's a really, really powerful gift that we have in the family. A very powerful message came through to me. And this was about 2 years ago. At the end of 2019, I received a very clear and somewhat disturbing message that there is a war on the nuclear family unit. There is a war. What does a war do? It just tries to like destroy it, annihilate it. It never existed in that way. There is a war on the nuclear family unit. And I had to sit with that for like, I was like, well, what do I do with that? That's really dark. Like, what do I do with that? You know, and what am I going to do about that? What am I going to do about that so that I don't fall victim to, you know, to being in that war? How do I rise above that war? I don't want anything to do with that. And that put me on a really awesome, enlightening, loving journey to realize the importance and the beautiful way that Mother Nature has created our family units. It takes a lot of it takes humility to know you chose all of that. You chose it. Why? Right? And it's like, why? Why? What is it I wanted to learn through this? What is it I wanted to experience? What did I want to heal? What did I want to really change? And changing something is very courageous. It's very courageous for, you know, one human to like drop in and just be like, this is something I'm going to change. It takes everything. It takes everything. It will take everything to make the changes you really want to make. That you really want to make. And it takes a lot of listening and a lot of wisdom and a lot of grace to be in a family unit and navigate that change. It takes you really understanding what your voice sounds like and who you are and who you are not and who you are here to be and who you're done being. There's such a gift in getting to the place where you are the mother, because it's like, it truly is the summertime of life. This is a moment where you are the master gardener of Eden. You are creating what you want to create at a very high level. And I have plenty of videos where we're talking about, you know, the earthliness of all of that, the humanness, the reality, okay? I talk about that a lot on this channel. It's so important that as mothers, we are able to know who we are. To know who we are in relationship to the family dynamic. It is important that you know and are actively creating your role in it. And that role can change. In fact, it has to all the time. It has to all the time. 1 month, it's going to be We are absolutely we are a Waldorf homeschooling family. That is who we are. We are doing it. You get the resources, you do the things, you set up the routines, you do all of it. And then the next month, all of that laid a foundation for how things were going to evolve in the next month. And the ideas that you had about what that was going to look like forever shifts, and you have the opportunity to shift along with it, reevaluate, recheck in, and change your role ever so slightly. But it's always about building upon what has been going on and tweaking it a little bit and evolving with it, and knowing when it's time for discipline and firmness and when it's time for surrender and grace, right? As a mother, that is very much our responsibility and opportunity, because the more that we lean into that, the more that our personal life really becomes so beautiful and the garden blooms. And we can look around and feel very proud mothers. And that is what I am here to encourage you to be, and to remind you that you are. There is a version of you that is a very proud woman, of who she is, and and what she does. And there's pride. It is a holy, holy quality of Divine Mother. I'm sending so much support today as you lean in more to, or just sit and gaze for a little longer at the mirror of life, including the family dynamics, including the projections and all the best efforting and the feelings, all of that you as the mother are seeing and holding together and loving. I'm sending so much support to you today on that journey. You've got this, and you're doing a great job. You're doing a really great job. All of my love. There are resources for you in the description box. I really hope that you like this video and that you subscribe to this channel, maybe even share a few videos that have really touched your heart with some other mothers, some other friends, other women. I love you so much. May your life be blessed with the miracles only you could be so brilliant to command. And I will see you in the next video. I love you.